in your free time, your vices will control you. Are y'all still with me? Okay. Now, I want to talk about 10 steps to increasing your value. And we do the first couple of these because I really want to hit, especially some of them, hard. If you want to take the first step towards becoming successful in an area of your life, and please hear the way I'm saying this. Just because you were unsuccessful in one area of your life does not make you an unsuccessful person. We have a tendency to think that if I failed in one area, I am a failure. That's not true. Okay? Are you with me? You can be incredibly successful in some areas of your life and unsuccessful in others. Life is a process. Okay? The first thing we want to do if you want to increase success in a given area of your life is this. Choose. Now this sounds almost too simple. It sounds stupid. But I want to warn you not to underestimate its power. Let me give you a few examples. I, being a counselor, have spoken to many, many people who have struggled with many. Some of the people that I have worked with are people that have lived and chosen to live a gay lifestyle. And the way it's happened in many of these cases is these people came to me for counsel before they actually entered into this lifestyle. And it happens like this. I have been wrestling with these thoughts. And the thoughts are never, if my name is Bob, the thoughts are never, Bob, you're a homosexual. The thoughts are always in the first person, because that's the way the enemy works. It's wow, I think maybe I'm different. I think maybe there's something wrong with me. I think maybe I'm gay. Now, the only reason I'm sharing with this with you is because there comes a point at which a person makes a choice. I am gay. And I've noticed that once somebody makes that choice, their whole life starts to go in that direction. Okay, now I'm not making any judgment as I say this, but the point is that what you choose to be will be what you manifest in your life. Is everybody still with me? So for instance, there's a lot of people who wish that they were financially more successful. There are people who hope that they'll be more financially successful. But I don't know a lot of people that have chosen, made a declaration. Today is the day that I decide that I will be rich. Now to some people, you're going to almost choke on even saying that. Like it's going to feel wrong to say, I'm rich. And I want to suggest to you that you need to start saying it and believing it before it's even going to happen to you. You need to choose. Now, to me, rich is still too vague. I've had prophetic words over my life for the last 20 or almost 30 years. I've had prophetic words over my life that I was going to be a millionaire. I believe that somebody that wants to be a millionaire has to choose to be a millionaire. I don't think you become a millionaire by accident. I think if you set your set point that $250,000 is enough, if you set your set point that I'm a quarter millionaire, then I think that's the highest you're going to achieve, unless you just have some freak accident. But I think by far and large, you will accomplish what you choose to be. Are you with me? And if you'll admit to yourself, there's a lot of times and a lot of things in your life that you wanted to be that you never chose to be. So the first thing you got to do is you got to make a declaration to yourself. I am, and then fill in whatever it is at the end of that statement. Whether maybe your thing is that your marriage has been messed up. You know that people that have messed up marriages almost always begin to create escape clauses in their minds, because they're afraid of what's going to happen in case it doesn't work. Now, what does the Bible say about a double-minded person? It says that they are unstable in all of their ways. So if part of me wants a successful marriage, but part of me is planning an escape route at the exact same time, now I'm a divided person. I'm not running any direction. I'm running into the wall. If I want to have a successful marriage, I have to choose. I have to put my foot down. I have to say, my marriage is successful, period. You may have to do this in your health. I'm making a choice. Even though I still feel crappy, I feel horrible, I'm making a decision today. I'm not hoping to be well anymore. I'm not wanting to be well anymore. I am putting down my foot, and I am saying that I am a healthy human being. The life and health of God lives in me and flows through my body from the top of my head to the soles of my feet. Now, I can guarantee you that the more you get that down into your belief system, and the more that belief system comes out of your mouth, the more you're going to begin to manifest what you choose to be. The problem is, and please hear this clearly, often we don't make those choices because of competing commitments in our life. For example, the person that is unhealthy, even though there are many costs to being unhealthy, there are also many rewards to being unhealthy. Because if I'm the unhealthy one, I'm the person in the room that gets attention all the time. If I'm the unhealthy one, I'm the one that has an excuse for not doing the difficult things because I have a legitimate reason for not doing those things. And so these commitments begin to war against one another that, yeah, there's a part of me that wants this, but a part of me doesn't want it. It's kind of like, blind Bartimaeus. I don't know if you ever studied out that story about blind Bartimaeus in the Bible, but he was blind, and back then they gave certain physically challenged people this coat that they would wear, and the coat meant that they had the legal right to beg alms from the people. So Jesus walks through town one day, and blind Bartimaeus, he's sitting along the side of the road in his beggar's coat, and he begins to hear this commotion going on around him. He goes, "What's going on?" They go, "Jesus of Nazareth is coming." And he starts to scream out at the top of his lungs. And they told him to shut up. You keep your mouth shut. Don't make such a ruckus. He starts to scream. He takes off his beggar's coat. He runs to Jesus. In other words, he's saying, I don't want these stinking alms anymore. I want my eyesight. I'm making a choice to be able to see. By the way, as I say that, I can't help but think this thought. There are people in the body of Christ who would rather be blind than sighted spiritually. Because you know that once you can see and hear what God expects from you, it will be required of you. Unwise. Unwise. Yep.
And that pretty much with everything. I mean, when the truth comes out, like our football coach McKinley one day said people don't want to know the truth because then they're held responsible for knowing it. Meaning what's going on in the community and stuff. It's
right.
not just the spiritual.
Right.
It's, when you know the truth of what's around you, then you have to tell that truth.
Yep. So with everything, we have to weigh what is the cost and what is the reward. If you can hear God, you're responsible for what you hear. You have to obey Him. That's the cost. The cost of not obeying God is that when bad stuff happens, you're going to be the last person to know about it. And when you need healing and help from the bad stuff that happened, you're going to be at the end of the line. Because there were other people that were listening to the voice of God and obeying the voice of God when He told them what to do and where to be and what He expected of them. All right, so the first thing you're going to have to do is learn how to be intentional. Stop hoping, stop trying, and make a decision. And I want to challenge you, because this message is sort of general this morning. I want to challenge you to pick one area of your life. Say, I need to be more successful, and then you fill in the blank. What is the area that you need to be more successful in? Maybe you need to be more successful financially, relationally. We've mentioned several. In your health, we've mentioned several things this morning. You pick the one that relates most to you. But it will begin, this process will begin when you make a choice. I guarantee you, when you choose, something will shift. Now, even as I say that, that shift may mean that all hell is going to break loose against you. That's not a bad thing. It means something got set in motion. All right? Okay. The Bible tells us that the thief comes to steal, to kill, and destroy. Jesus said in John 10:10, I have come that you might have life and that you might have it what? Abundantly. I just don't know very many Christians that are living abundantly. And I'm really sorry to say that. I'm really, really, really sorry to say that. I just don't see many abundant Christians. He says in Deuteronomy 13, I call heaven and earth as witnesses today against you. I have set before you life and death, blessings and cursings. Therefore, what? Choose life that both you and your descendants may live. Just in the financial realm, we said the other day, we said that the Bible promises that when you're a righteous person, God will leave an inheritance not only to you, but to your children and to your children's children. He promises that your blessings will flow at least to the level of your grandchildren if you are living the way He has called you to live. So today you need to choose. I am, and don't say I will be, by the way. Don't say I will be. It was funny, I was just kind of watching how I have progressed personally. And a couple months ago, we did a Level 5 seminar for LPI. And we were developing what we call critical success factors. And it was interesting as I passed my critical success factors out to the group to use it as an example. And I went home like a week later and I was looking over that. And it said at the top, my success factor said, by the grace of God, I will be. I thought, that's not right. So I had to change it. By the grace of God, I am. And then I listed my success factors there. You're going to have to choose. Not I will be, I am. And we're going to talk about that later. We're going to talk about the power of those two words. Those are probably the two most powerful words that are in your vocabulary. I am. I don't want to get ahead of myself because then I'll be repeating myself later on. Here's a secret of life. Your next step, or even your first step on this journey, will become clear after your intention becomes clear.